about time.
And we're back off Flash.
No substance.
So this is actually our first top 5 together.
Yes. Yes, because they happen on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, they happen on TikTok all the time.
And you guys aren't part of it either because somebody doesn't post on YouTube.
But hey, you know what? It's like Megan is sweeping the nation, and everybody is all about this movie. And I thought that it would be cool to talk about robots in movies.
Yes.
Now, not exactly the robots, like the actual robots, but the robot movies themselves.
Okay, robot movies.
Robot movies. There you go.
Movies where the robot is the focal point of the movie.
More or less, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. I got that. All right.
You got it. All right. Let's go first.
All right. So I feel like our lists are going to be similar and maybe one or two that are going to be different. So I apologize right now. I'm thinking to myself, you guys are like, you guys do the same fucking list. Like, why don't y'all just do one list? Why don't y'all just do one list? Call it the top 7 or something. Y'all only put like one extra movie in.
All right. Well, you know what? I will look. You say yours, and then we'll go from there. Hit it.
No, it'll be. It's gonna be similar. Anyway, so number 5.
Number 5.
All right, number 5. I went with, and I had to think about this one because I hadn't seen this movie in quite some time. But I remember when I saw the movie, I absolutely loved it, and it is Real Steel. Which I have no idea.
Rocky.
Robot Rocky. I have no idea why it didn't get a sequel. This movie
Robot
definitely
Rocky.
deserved a sequel. I mean, there should have been an Ivan Drago Russian robot that he should have been fighting, and that we should have been seeing that, or like a out of prison black robot with a little mohawk on top of his head. Said I pity the fool.
Muffler
There you go. This movie, like he said, is Robot Rocky. The person who wrote this movie obviously was a big fan of Rocky because they made this movie with basically like if they were just watching the movie and just kind of writing it down. It kind of follows a lot of the beats. But it's a nice story about it's a father and son and their relationship and being around boxing and robots and anything with robots. You already got me on board to watch the movie. But it's, like I said, it's a great father and son story. It's a great boxing story, and it really kind of gets you. Was Stallone like a producer on this movie?
No.
Okay, I was about to say that he must have had something to do with this movie because this is definitely Rocky, Robot Rocky. If you haven't had a chance to see it, it's one of those movies that's really underrated. It was really big when it came out, and then they just forgot about it. It's just like, hey, that did really well. We're never doing that again.
Do you think it's because Hugh Jackman is so big as Wolverine that overshadows?
Maybe he didn't want to do a sequel.
That's a possibility too, but I think you're right though. It was great.
I mean, maybe when Hugh Jackman is at the end of his career, he's like, you know what? We got to do that Real Still too. I know you guys have been wanting to see it. Number 4. All right, so number 4. This is when we're gonna get in the area. I feel like we're gonna start seeing similar ones.
Okay.
I went with Ex Machina.
Okay.
With Alicia Vikander and
Oscar
Isaac, and I can't remember the young guy that was the focal point of the movie, where him doing the Turing test. Yeah, exactly. And the hot Asian chick that was also the other robot in here and stuff like that. Look, this movie is cool and high tech and very stylish
and original.
Original. I mean, as far as like AI goes, I mean, Steven Spielberg would say they copied.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That is a very good point, sir.
They would say they copied my movie. But anyway, so I mean, it's very stylish and sexy. Like this movie, like kind of flirts with the line of like sex dolls in a point. But it's more of like a state of mind. Am I really seeing what I'm seeing? It's almost kind of a mystery as well. I don't want to spoil too much if you guys haven't seen it, but like this is probably one of the best movies Alicia Vikander has ever done. I mean, she was Tomb Raider for a minute, but
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I was like everything that she's been in since it hasn't really made the impact that this movie has. And Oscar Isaac, I think that he kind of blossomed from here. Since this movie, he's been getting nothing but these amazing roles.
He's freaking Poe Dameron in Moon Knight.
Yeah, I know. He was in the Dune movie. You know, it's like he blew up from this movie. There's a bunch of great performances in this movie, all the way through the cast. So I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, definitely go ahead and see it. Like I said, it covers so many different like genres that you definitely need to see it. Right.
And that was Domhnall Gleeson. General Hux.
Oh yes,
it's General Hux.
Poe, basically their whole relationship.
There you go. It's Poe and General Hux.
Oh, that's so awesome! I never caught that, and then now it makes their whole relationship it works so much better.
Exactly.
It's so much better. All right, number three.
Number 3.
All right, so number 3, I went with the biggest popcorn flick of all time, Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. Look, this
Okay.
is Pacific Rim.
Power Rangers. Got it.
I mean, no, it should be.
Oh, Transformers.
It's Transformers. It's Power Rangers.
Godzilla.
It's Godzilla. This thing is a love letter to kaiju films. I
Right,
mean, literally,
exactly,
the
yes,
villain
it
is kaiju. They
Right.
call them kaijus. So this film, they should have somehow figured out to work the narrative into the Godzilla release. But this film, you don't watch this film for story. You don't watch because it doesn't make sense for 2 people to have to control one robot in this whole middle. They make it so overcomplicated. But when the fight scenes happen, I mean, it is a spectacle on screen.
Yes,
I
it
mean, the colors, the action, it was like you are a child again.
Idris.
In front of, yeah, exactly. Well, Idris was in this one. That's right, because he died in the second one. It's like, you sit at the edge of your ski, at the edge of your ski,
Yeah,
at the edge of your
skis.
ski.
On your skis, yeah.
You sit there just enjoying every moment of the action that goes on here. Don't listen to dialogue. Don't follow the story. Just sit there and watch the movie only for the action scenes because it's perfect for that. And I know you may say, well, why is that number 3? Because I enjoy action.
It's what Battleship should have been.
It's what Battleship should have. I mean, Battleship should have been on a board game, and it shouldn't have actually been a live action movie. And it was this dumb idea for them to do it. Hasbro! Screwing up G.I. Joe, screwing up Battleship. Number 2.
Number 2.
All right, so speaking of number 2s,
Terminator 2. Terminator 2.
Terminator
Okay.
2, the best of the Terminators.
Absolutely.
Yes. Look, the Arnold Schwarzenegger did a great job. Oh my God, me and names.
Linda Hamilton.
Thank you. Couldn't I get her name out? I didn't want to call her.
Robert Patrick.
All the guys that he said. So everybody did a great job, and this was a sequel, and we had a list where we talked about where the sequel was the best sequels, and this definitely was in our best sequels. This is an amazing film. It changed CGI and special effects. This film did. I mean, like, it was one of the ones where you look at where you say, hey, those effects still, I mean, except for the liquid metal thing, but most of the effects still hold up. The practical effects that they did in this film, the action in this film is so amazing, and even when it comes down to Arnold's prosthetics of him being a robot, from him taking his arm, the skin off his arm,
way better than the first one, for sure.
The fight scenes, I mean, look, everybody's seen Terminator 2. I don't feel like I have to oversell Terminator 2. It's a great film, one of James Cameron's best, right?
Absolutely.
It
might be the best.
Unless we count all the money he's made off of Avatar.
That don't make it a good movie.
I mean, some would say it does.
Avatar or Terminator 2, what are you putting on over and over and over again?
I mean, I would watch Pocahontas.
Oh, God. All right. Number 1. Number 1.
All right, number 1, and this is maybe a bias on my part because I am from Detroit. Even though this movie never took place in Detroit, that is not Detroit you see on screen. That is Houston that you see on screen. I'm very upset about that.
But for storytelling purposes, it is Detroit.
I mean, it's for storytelling purposes. Even though, look, Detroit ain't that messed up. It's like for storytelling purposes,
man, Detroit ain't that nice.
I mean, we don't have Omni City. So I mean, we wish it was that nice. We had Omni City, but anyway. So RoboCop, like, there was not many movies made about Detroit back when I was a kid. I mean, we had this movie and we had Beverly Hills Cop, and even in Beverly Hills Cop, he left Detroit. At least RoboCop stayed, and he helped clean up the city. But anyway, so this movie is great for action. It's great for gore, violence. This movie is damn near a horror film, a slasher film at some points, because it just gets over the top gruesome. And if you ever seen the unrated version, I can't believe that you can still you can still sleep at night, because there's so much gore and violence, and you're just like, bullets, just please stop. Will they stop shooting him? Can they please stop shooting him? Yep. This is so bad. But it did so much going forward for action films in general, for movies about robots and stuff like that. He what is his name?
Peter Weller?
Peter Weller figured out how to do a specific walk for him, the way his monotone voice, the ancillary characters that are all around, all even in their little minor moments, from the "I'll buy that for $1" and who is it, Cox, with his stupid laugh.
Oh yeah.
It was like everybody was a character in this movie.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Yeah, exactly. It was like the movie itself, it never gets old, and it is well outdated, but it just never gets old, and it's such
Absolutely
an iconic.
not.
part of the movie. Like if there's a list of movies that you gotta see, this one's definitely on there.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna go stop there.
That was great.
Yes.
That was a great list.
All right, that's like how many of these are on Manny's list?
Well, now I have to take some things out because
No, you keep what's on your list. Keep what's on your list.
All right, my number 5 is.
No,
I'm gonna actually go fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Short Circuit.
I thought about Short Circuit for a minute because I watched that movie a million times when I was a kid.
Right.
And it means something to me, but
Right.
I can't say it was my favorite robot
Because Johnny Five is alive.
movie. Yeah, Johnny. I mean, it was Frankenstein basically. He gets struck by lightning, and it's like he comes alive.
You're absolutely right. It is, but you get Gutenberg in it. You
Yes.
get Mahoney in it.
Yeah.
And Ali Sheedy, and it's a real good comedy, and it also lets you appreciate.
Just don't watch Short Circuit.
I like Short Circuit too. It's a guilty pleasure. It's like Critters 2
I mean, I love Critters.
without the alien that has the big. Anyway,
There you go. They should have had boobs.
but
for
it is
Short
so.
Circuit, too. I would love Short Circuit too.
It is it's that whole friendship, but it's also not just friendship, but it's also about that appreciation about life, and and going through everything, and him coming to life and getting all of the getting so excited by the things that you kind of take for granted.
Yeah,
and
like the little flower.
yeah, exactly. So appreciation of life outside, just not just friendship, but an appreciation of life. That's what I got from this movie, and there are parts that are just freaking hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought it was freaking great.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. All right. Yes, Real Steel. I have to put Real Steel in
love Real
there.
Steel.
Okay, it is a great movie. I saw that thing in IMAX, and it did not disappoint. When you got Hugh Jackman, that's already fresh off of X-Men, and he plays a different side of character too. There's a different character that is in certain similarities from a down and out type of Logan that he that he is in some films. In that regard, it's about the same, sure, but he's looking for that redemption, and then on top of that, he's looking to rekindle the stuff with his son.
Right.
Once it's kind of like thrown in his lap because it's all unexpected, right? In that regard, it's like over the top.
There you go. I was about to say it's over the top.
It's over the top. Hey, another Rocky.
Somebody was a big fan of Rocky.
Somebody was a fan of Stallone. We need over the top and Rocky. We put them together, and you know what? Put some robots in there.
Yeah, there you go.
And then that was it. I thought it was freaking great though. The effects were great. It's like you see the boxing in it, and the way the high techness of the robots and how they look, and when they're boxing, it's just freaking cool. Right. You're a boxer,
yeah.
So I know that you have appreciation for the boxing part of it.
I just love the movie in general. The only thing I say is that I want them to do a sequel, but I'm kind of hesitant if they do a sequel to it because then they're gonna give the robot a personality.
Yeah, I think no. Let's leave it alone.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it that he was that he could just take the pain.
Yeah,
take the pain
that's it.
that.
It was like he was not much personality.
If they do a Real Steel 2, I want them to say, just let it go. You gave that man everything you got, and the man kept coming to you. Let it go. Anyway, all right, number 3. Number 3 is also Ex Machina.
Okay.
I don't have to beat a dead horse on that one. You said it perfectly, but Alicia Vikander's performance was just freaking great, man. Like it was really good, and it's just unexpected now that you look back, and how you've seen Oscar Isaac progress so much as an actor. And then you go back and you see pretty much his little humble beginnings in a movie like that had so much substance in it, and with a absolutely awesome ending. The ending was freaking fantastic.
Tonight. I think I'm gonna watch that movie tonight.
Yeah, so I loved Ex Machina. So yeah, that's my number 3.
All right.
All right, number 2.
Number 2
is also RoboCop.
All right.
I've actually put it at number 2. It was hard, but it is number 2, and it's it was original, and it had all of these actual gruesome scenes in this movie that Paul Verhoeven did not freaking shy away from. He just went all balls to the wall on this movie.
I wish he was still alive, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I would like to see more. Look, at Starship. What if he did a Star Wars movie? Starship Troopers, man, that whole style is like, dude, I wish he could have just kept going on.
The closest thing. Now, some people give shit to RoboCop 2. I like RoboCop 2.
No, RoboCop 2 is good. RoboCop 3 is not good.
No, it is not. But you get a lot of RoboCop. If you want something that's recent that you have not seen that's a little like RoboCop, watch Dredd. I mean, Dredd is like exactly Paul Verhoeven style.
Yes.
But all of that influence and everything comes from RoboCop.
Or you can watch the RoboCop remake.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't watch the RoboCop remake. Absolutely not. Don't do that. just stick to the
It's on the
original.
wall right there.
It's absolutely fantastic. You are not gonna freaking get a much, a much better 80s classic than RoboCop. And what's funny is that RoboCop came out in '87, so it joins that group of Predator, Hellraiser, Lost Boys.
Man, the 80s did such. Why can't we do that now in this generation? The 80s just they took all the good ideas.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. All these movies from 1987 that came out, RoboCop is one of them. So it's absolutely fantastic. Number one. All right, now you're right. Terminator 2 is absolutely, one of the greatest sequels of all time, and it's just got everything. I'm actually on this whole subject right now in a kumite that I'm doing on TikTok.
It's
so
hard
check it
for
out.
anything to beat Terminator 2.
But I'm gonna give it to Terminator 1. And the only reason I'm giving it to Terminator 1 is because there is more of a focus on the robot than there is in Terminator 2. In Terminator 2, it's more about, yes, he's a robot, but he's basically Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, hold on.
No, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Okay,
I get what you're saying. It's like he has more of he's literally a robot in the first one. It was just,
yes, he is emotionless.
Yeah.
He has no desire to learn anything and adapting to human nature, which is why I don't understand Dark Fate. But
he needed some time to learn.
No.
He needed time to learn.
No, anyway.
Hey, look. Sometimes those skills, those relationship skills, they develop over time. It's like any relationship.
Yeah, no. But you don't have anything that is kind of like taking away where the T-1000 is kind of taken away from that, and that is really not a robot in my opinion. The T-800 is, and that is the basis of the entire movie is the T-800. And when you see, the future of the war and all of the robots come out, I mean, the focus is on the dang robots.
Right.
So that's why I'm gonna go with Terminator 1. I think that is, it is more of a robot movie than Terminator 2 is.
Okay.
Terminator 2 is the better film, but Terminator 1 has more influence of the robots.
I get you.
Make sense?
I understand your point.
Okay, cool.
I got
Thank you very much.
All right.
Honorable mentions.
For anybody complains. All right. Honorable mentions. I went. So this is I'll put that one. I'll mention that one last. I went Iron Giant. One of my favorite animated films of all time.
Okay, I don't like you right now. I
freaking-
thought we were gonna stick with freaking live action
I just was an honorable mention.
because I would have put freaking Transformers.
By the way,
in my freaking
I'm
top
waiting-
5.
I'm
You
waiting-
know this, right?
Yes, I know. But we're doing
You
live
think
action.
Johnny Five would have been in this?
Well, fine. You know what? All right, moving on to live action. By the way, I hope they don't ever do a live action of Iron Giant, but now that I've said that and put it out in the universe, they're definitely gonna do one.
Yeah.
I did Short Circuit.
But Vin Diesel has to come back as a voice.
Oh yeah, I mean he will. Trust me, he'll be like a paycheck. Yes. He'll be doing I Am Groot.
I am Iron Giant.
And Iron Giant. I put Short Circuit also as an honorable mention, and then I put, even though maybe this is the reason why I didn't add it in the list because in the title it says differently, but Cyborg.
Okay.
Though.
That's a Van Damme fan in you talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I knew you were going to say that. Though I feel like the villain of them was like, I don't remember. I feel like he was more robot than actual human, except so my whole premise with it is like, I felt like he was a cyborg only because his outer was human.
Well, that's
Terminator.
That's Terminator.
Exactly. So that's it. But I was like, but if it's like put cyborg in it, it would be like, but it's a cyborg and not a robot. So it's Terminator.
Right.
All right.
But RoboCop's a cyborg.
But
They even call him a cyborg in the freaking.
yeah, I do.
They call him a cyborg in the movie.
So what am I kicking out here? Nah, I'll leave it at
All right,
that.
next one.
All right, no, that's it. Those are my honorable mentions.
Okay, I had Chopping Mall.
Side note with Chopping Mall. So when I was a little kid, I used to pass by this neighborhood mom and pop video store. And they had the Chopping Mall poster, the one with the little robot hand holding the bag.
The bag with the dudes on.
Scared the crap out of me. I never want to watch that
Oh, hell
movie.
yeah.
So when I watched that movie, I was like, this is such a fucking joke that this is what this movie was about. I was like,
Killbots.
yeah, oh god, I hated that movie. Well, I watched it too late in life to where like it didn't have the impact on me it would have had if I'd watched it as a kid, because then I was like, this is kind of stupid.
Which is why you like Critters too.
This is why, hey,
Alright.
Critters has a real reason for me to like.
Okay, they have two good reasons. All right, iRobot, obviously. I'll go.
I'm not that big of a fan of iRobot.
I'll go. Transformers: Dark of the Moon over Transformers 2007, the original.
I'm not putting any Transformers in my
Yeah,
list.
well, I am anyway.
I'm not putting any Transformers.
Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Oh, I should have put Bumblebee.
That was a good one.
Yeah, okay, Bumblebee.
The
is on
Gen
my-
1, yeah. Okay, I had Bumblebee too. The High Pacific Rim, Deadly Friend, the one with Kirstie Swanson, the one directed by Wes Craven, and she's the robot, and she gets that basketball and she throws it at Mom Fratelli from the Goonies, and her head freaking blows up. Have you ever
I've
seen that?
never seen this movie.
Dude, you gotta check out that part. That part is freaking awesome.
Well, I ain't gonna be denying. I'm watching Ex Machina.
All right, cool. Okay, tell me what you think about this one. Obviously, I'm putting Megan. It's a fantastic movie. I love that movie. All right. Alita.
Oh my god! All right, so that's a guilty pleasure for me. It wasn't a bet. It wasn't a bet. Fuck, you could put Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, you could put Ghost in the Shell.
Oh god, I didn't even think about these.
But you see, the Ghost in the Shell. I mean, you were always like one about talking about the whitewashing. So that's why I really didn't want to like throw that out there. But I genuinely liked Alita. I thought it was a good movie.
It just didn't make the money that it needed to make.
It didn't.
So,
But it was great. It was a good. It was a good story. It was a great freaking effects. It was beautifully shot.
They didn't have to go anime eyes on it. That was always such a weird thing. They went anime eyes on her.
Then you see the real girl, and it's like, hey, let's see them
anime eyes. You look hotter with the anime.
All right, that's my honorable mention. Darren, take it home.
All right, guys. So now we found like 5, or at least I found like 5 more movies I didn't even think about to put on my list. Go ahead and make your list with these, with all these options there. We'd love to see it in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other top 5s. Because now it's New Year, we're back to them. You got to make sure you see them when they come out, and they won't just be homed on TikTok by themselves where nobody else can see them with all you YouTuber subscribers.
Getting crapped on for my Black Adam poster.
Yeah, oh, it's all right. It's all right. That's all right. We changed it now. Now we don't get crap anymore. All right. I'm good.
All right, for Aspen and Art and Carla, and for the Geek Father right here, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence. Go get a top 5 shirt.
And we'll see you next time.